while since I did a fragrance review, and I saw that this one was brand new out, and I really liked the ones in the previous collection, and I thought, why not review it? This is my review of Britney Spears' brand new fragrance, Fantasy Intimate Edition. So Fantasy Intimate Edition is the 18th fragrance to be added to the Britney Spears fragrance collection. 18! What the hell? But it was released in June 2015 via Elizabeth Arden, and it was released to coincide with her lingerie launch last autumn with Change Lingerie. So let's start off looking at the packaging. This is the Intimate Fantasy box. It's a nice matte packaging. It's the first fantasy box that's a matte finish, not like an over-the-top like glossy or anything like that. It's a matte finish, which is nice and subtle and nice and like relaxed because it's an intimate edition. It's a smaller box this time around. The fantasy boxes are getting a lot smaller, and I think that's the cut production cost, but don't quote me on that. It's a really nice colouring. It's like a white and pink colouring. It's got like a lot of like white lace things going around it, obviously because it's coinciding with her lingerie. So it is like white lace lingerie on it with pink in the middle. It says Fantasy Britney Spears Intimate Edition with the size of the bottle that you're getting and what type of fragrance this is. And this is an eau de parfum fragrance, so it is going to be stronger. And it's in a foil like metallic gold, if you can see that. And then on the back of the box, which is a gorgeous little touch, is the fragrance advertisement. Speaking of advertisements, let's take a look at it in more detail right here. Britney looks absolutely stunning in this one. She looks really, really natural. She's shown that she's matured a lot, but she's growing old gracefully, and I love that. She still looks sexy. The only thing with this ad that I've got a problem with is that it is a recycled image from the lingerie line shoot that she did last autumn. I understand that this is like to coincide with that, but I'm a little bit disappointed because it shows that she's not really putting much effort into her fragrances anymore. Like, she used to do brand new photo shoots, like when she did for Fantasy and Curious, but she's just not done a new one, and she's just recycled an image from the shoot. It is a new image that we haven't seen before, but unfortunately it's not different, and I know that. Just quickly adding on to the advertisement, the tagline for this fragrance is "Everybody has an intimate fantasy," and I have a massive problem with this because the tagline for the original Fantasy was "Fantasy, everybody has one," and I really think she's now just recycling and just slapping her name on fragrances now. As nice as this fragrance is, she really needs to start putting a little bit more effort into the tagline and the advertisement. So let's take a look at the Fantasy Intimate Edition bottle. It is the exact same potion-shaped bottle as all the other fantasies in the Fantasy line, except the colour scheme is different, as you would expect. It is a white and pink colour scheme this time. It's like a really like matte plasticky white finish, which makes it look a little bit cheap, but I wouldn't be sure how else they would pull off the white effect unless they frosted it. But it's still nice, I guess. The signature fantasy band that goes there is like a murky pink colour, and then the crystals going all the way around. Let me just focus this so you can see it. The crystals going around are like a light pink, and they go all the way around. I really like this bottle. This is one of my favourite colour schemes of the Fantasy line, and it's gonna fit right in. What's in Fantasy Intimate Edition? Well, it opens up with lychee, lemon and violet leaf. The middle notes are ozone, lily of the valley, jasmine, brown sugar and jarret. And the base notes are vanilla, heliotrope, benzoin and white musk. I sprayed it here and it's in the dry down phase, so I'm gonna respray it here so I can give you this review. So, Fantasy Intimate Edition is a very weird one. It's very intimate, but when you open it up, it's got this very like bright burst, as you would expect. So you can smell that lychee in there, you can smell that lemon zest in there that makes it that touch citrusy, it adds like a little citrusy punch, and you can smell that violet, and violet's got a very distinctive floral scent, and it's really strong. And in the opening you can really smell all three working together. I thought the lemon would kind of get lost, but it doesn't. In the opening spray especially, and it only lasts for like 20 seconds or so, but the citrus kick is there and it's a really nice surprise. So the opening doesn't really last long, which is disappointing because I really do like the opening. The lychee and the lemon working together is really perfect. But the middle notes start to kick in straight away because there's a lot of heady notes in the middle that really do take over. In there we've got Lily of the Valley and Jasmine, which are both really heady aromas. Both of them provide like a really like sweet sexiness to a fragrance, like a really gourmand sexiness to that. Especially Jasmine, that is what Jasmine adds to a fragrance, and these two do just that. And it's fitting because it's an intimate edition. And to continue on the intimacy, you have Brown Sugar and Jarrett. Now Jarrett is an animal note, and I was really shocked to see this. Like, what the hell? A Jarrett is like from the cat breed, and I was like, what the hell was this doing in a fragrance? But I did a bit of research. It's not like the actual animal in the fragrance, it's just like the kind of like the sweating of the animal, and it's got a really weird vanilla-y scent apparently. I don't know how it works, but it kind of does, because it's got this really weird vanilla edge, and it's layered with a lot of the other notes that do have a vanilla-y edge to them as well. Brown Sugar is a note that adds a lot of gourmand stickiness to a fragrance. If you know what brown sugar does when you're baking, it makes things really like cakey and really sticky and really chewy. That's how you get chewy cookies. And this is the kind of feel that it gives in the fragrance. It adds like a really chewy, like caramelly like scent to this fragrance. While all of this is going on in the heart, the ozone, which is another really weird like ingredient to add into a fragrance, does its job at really lifting these notes. They're not as heady as you'd expect them to be. All of these together, I would have thought would have really given you a massive headache. One of those fragrances that you can't spray too much because it will totally overpower you and give you a headache. But that ozone really does aerate this fragrance a lot because it's an aerated note. And it just lifts all them up and makes them that much lighter so that you can wear it. So as the base notes start to kick in and the dry down phase starts, you're greeted with that vanilla and the heliotrope, which are another two like layers of vanilla. So you've got the Jarrett, which is like a vanilla-y fragrance as well, but you've got heliotrope, which in its strongest form smells a lot like sticky vanilla, and then you've got pure vanilla in there as well, which just adds to that over vanilla kill. You have to really love vanilla to love this fragrance. The benzoin and the white musk are there to really make it into like this really gourmand, like intimate fragrance. So the benzoin and the white musk, benzoin is like a tree sap, it's like a concentrated glucose kind of thing, which smells a little bit florally and a little bit vanilla-y as well, and a little bit ambery. And then the white musk comes in, and it's kind of one of those fragrances that stays close to you, and it's for those intimate moments, and white musk does just that to give it that musky edge, so it really is an intimate fragrance. It doesn't project far, but it's one of those fragrances that you're gonna have to like come close to smell when you're gonna get intimate with someone. Having said all of that, Fantasy Intimate Edition, I will say smells very similar to the original Fantasy. Even though the notes are very different, it still has that quality that Fantasy has, that really sweet, cakey gourmand, and I think it's a lot of the lychee notes that make them smell very similar. It's a very like intimate, sexy version of the original Fantasy, and a lot nicer. If you like the original Fantasy, you'll love this one as well, I think. And I kind of feel like the white musk kind of gives it a more mature edge to the original Fantasy. I like that Britney's recent fragrances, I think, are kind of appealing to more of the older audience, because maybe she's getting a bit older, and I feel like this would be like the older woman's version of Fantasy. So that's what Fantasy Intimate Edition smells like. So where can you get it? It comes in a 30 and 50 milliliter bottle, and it's currently released exclusively via the fragrance shop here in the UK, and if you purchase online, I'll put a link down there so you can find it, you get a free gift of a Britney Spears gold clutch, I think. But I didn't get it. I didn't really want it. Haven't seen any other products like a body lotion or like a body souffle or anything like that. So at the moment you can just get the Eau de Parfum spray. Just adding on to that, as it is an Eau de Parfum, it does last a really long time. It lasts for a good 6 to 8 hours. It's kind of like it stays close to your skin at all times because it is the Intimate Edition. But what I will say is I don't recommend wearing this in summer at all. It will totally like overcrowd you with like syrupy vanilla-iness, and it's just not right for summer. I think this is for those really like date nights, like cold nights as well. Like it's an evening fragrance when you're going to be intimate with someone. So there we go, that is the end of my Britney Spears Fantasy Intimate Edition fragrance review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have already smelt this fragrance before and what you think of it down there in the comments. Check out some of my previous videos up there and my social media links down there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!